You know what's wild? Sometimes the move that changes everything costs absolutely nothing. While Twitter was melting down over which megastar the Blue Jays weren't signing, their front office was pulling off something far more impressive. September 16, 2024. Toronto claims Tyler Heineman off waivers from Boston. Zero headlines, zero hype. Just another organizational depth move that happens 50 times every September across baseball. Except this one just helped deliver a World Series championship. And the story of how it happened reveals exactly what separates elite front offices from everyone else. Look, I know what you're thinking. A backup catcher off the waiver wire? That's the big story. But stay with me here, because what the Blue Jays saw in Heineman and what they got from him is actually a masterclass in talent evaluation. This is Jay's Quick News, and today we're breaking down the move nobody noticed that changed everything. And listen, if you want the real stories behind how championship rosters get built, hit subscribe right now because we go deeper than anyone else. So let's back up. September 2024. The Blue Jays had a problem. They'd traded Danny Jansen to Boston at the deadline, which made sense for the rebuild timeline, but it left them thin behind the plate. Brian Serven was supposed to be the backup, and he was brutal. We're talking a 179 average with a 222 slugging percentage. Unwatchable. Most teams would have just accepted it, finished out the lost season, and dealt with it in the offseason. But here's the thing about this front office under Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro that people don't appreciate enough. They play the long game. They're constantly evaluating, constantly accumulating, even when games don't matter. When Heineman hit waivers, Toronto pounced. And get this wasn't the first time they'd grabbed him, not even the second. This was the third time the organization had claimed or signed Tyler Heineman. Think about that. 3 separate times, they went out of their way to bring in a guy who was hitting .212 for his career with 1 home run in almost 300 major league games. That's not random. That's conviction. That's scouts seeing something specific that fits what they're trying to build. At the time, everyone assumed Heineman was just organizational filler, a solid defensive catcher who could catch bullpen sessions and maybe pinch run in a blowout. His bat looked completely dead. Career .222 hitter. In modern baseball, that's basically unplayable. Sure, he could throw and frame and call a good game, but with the way offense-starved catching had become, you needed more. Or so everyone thought. Fast forward to spring training 2025. The Blue Jays have questions. Alejandro Kirk is the guy behind the plate, but he'd never caught more than 99 games in a season. Could his body hold up to everyday duty? And if he needed rest, could they actually trust Heineman? Most analysts figured Toronto would go sign a veteran, someone like Gary Sanchez or Christian Vasquez, just for insurance. Instead, they rolled with Kirk and Heineman. Just those two. That's either confidence or insanity, and it turns out it was genius. Kirk stayed healthy, and he was fantastic. Hit .278 with 15 homers and put up 4.7 wins above replacement while catching 118 games. That alone justified the faith. But here's where the story gets completely absurd. Tyler Heineman didn't just survive as the backup, he dominated. I'm talking .305 batting average, an .830 OPS, 3 home runs, and 18 RBIs in limited action. Those are starter numbers. Those are all-star backup numbers. Those are numbers that make 0 sense for a career .22 hitter who was claimed off waivers. And the team results? The Blue Jays went 27-19 in games Heineman started. That's a 587 winning percentage. Over a full season, that's a 95 win pace. Championship caliber. He wasn't just holding the fort when Kirk needed a breather. He was legitimately winning baseball games. Let me give you the advanced metrics because they're even more ridiculous. Heineman put up 2.1 wins above replacement in 2025. Fangraphs valued that production at $16.2 million. Now here's the kicker. That 2.1 WAR ranked 17th among all major league catchers, but he ranked 50th in plate appearances among catchers. He produced like a borderline all-star while playing backup minutes. The per-game, per-plate appearance value was off the charts. According to Fangraphs historical data, what Heineman did ranks among the best backup catcher seasons of the last 20 years. He posted a 120 WRC+, meaning he was 20% better than league average at the plate. His 3.41 weighted on-base average crushed his career mark of 292. This wasn't a hot week. This wasn't small sample theater. Across 45 games, this was real, sustainable production from a guy everyone had written off. And here's what really shows you how brilliant this move was. According to internal Blue Jays analysis, if Heineman had just been a typical backup catcher, if he'd given them replacement-level production instead of what he actually did, Toronto doesn't win the AL East. Full stop. They finished 94-68, tied with the Yankees, won the division on the tiebreaker. Every single win mattered. Heineman's 27-19 record as a starter was the difference between October baseball and going home.